What's going on, guys? This is Third Perspective, your podcast, your favorite podcast. Yes, it is. My name is Mac Reed.
My name is BK, and Arlington drinks his Hennessy with tea.
Because I'm a bad bitch. Anyways, this is all Scott comedian, all Scott the man with the voice, baby.
This is Dylan. I'm back.
Okay.
Special guest, Dylan. I don't know if they know. I said it earlier, but they wasn't listening when we was doing pre-recording and all that shit. Shout out to Third Perspective because this is officially our 1 year anniversary type shit. We've been at this shit for a minute. We did some switch ups, we did some additions, we did all kind of shit.
Subtractions.
When I actually saw it, I wanted to cry, but I didn't because I ain't want to be no bitch. So, yeah, but I appreciate these guys and female, woman,
okay,
lady, ma'am.
She woman is what I like to be referred to.
Okay, cool.
That sounds like you have a penis, but I'm not going to say anything.
Woman. I am a Sagittarius, so.
Okay. Oh, right.
So that means you, never mind. Okay. Never mind.
Got that dime.
Mac, what's going on, Mac? What's going on, Mac? I don't know. But yeah, 1 year anniversary, man. Yeah, we in this bitch to stay. We got like 40, 50 more years to go. Unless I just get rich as fuck and I leave these motherfuckers. Or I just start firing motherfuckers.
First and foremost, that's my plan. I'm just gonna go ahead and just, all right, sir, here you go. Hey,
give pink slips.
Yeah, just go ahead and give me my 50%.
I'm only here until Chris Paul
marries me.
It's all on you now, nigga. You got.
It's all you now. I'm out of this bitch.
Straight up. But you know what I'm saying. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, especially when it comes to relationships. We're gonna dive in a little bit deeper here.
Yeah, we've been really loving relationships lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You remember that song?
Yeah. And damn high school, middle school being nasty.
Right, being nasty. On
I
the
used to
floor,
be a
talking
stripper.
Them free lifestyles too, by the way.
Yeah,
when you got that in middle school, those free lifestyles.
I ain't even know how to put a condom on.
Y'all just disgusting. I was just talking about dancing.
That song definitely led
this shit on my head.
SEX.
Okay, Mama Secret.
Then you was having sex in high school, middle school?
Nah, I was having SECK. That's what they spell it now. Ain't it?
Okay. Yeah, I feel you.
Whoa.
Sex.
Y'all know that sex? It's still the same SECK.
You were having sex in high school?
In high school, yeah.
You were having sex in high school, Arlington?
I had sex, and I started my freshman year.
You had high school, and
but I was with this girl from.
You had sex in high school.
I was with this girl from 6th grade till my senior year in high school.
Oh, so she was down for the Brizzown. Okay.
Look at you.
Yeah, I was always a relationship type of dude.
When did you start fucking?
Straight like that. Inquiring minds want to know.
Back to you in the studio, Mac.
Back to you.
That was middle school. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's how them motherfuckers ended up pregnant in middle school. It was about 2-3 girls that came out of Carver's Bay that definitely had a child in middle school. Yes. Pregnant, middle school. On the bus.
Like early middle school or
7th grade.
Hold on, now you're going.
Mac, you was fast. You was fast.
6th grade is still kind of elementary schoolish. That's crazy.
We're good here. What's the topic?
that bitch back hot. That heat get on you. Let's get this fight on.
Back to the regular program schedule.
Now he's a wholesome married man now, so it doesn't matter.
He's changed his life for the better.
Giving his life to Christ.
Hold on, you know what I'm saying? He's praying more.
Getting married is like, all right, now I never had sex before.
Okay.
Yeah, that wiped it. Okay. When you get married, your wholeness is deleted.
That's a fact. Because I better not hear about no bitch. Okay.
Not a nail, none of
I better not dream about her, none of that.
Yeah.
And and his wife African, so
God damn.
Mac ass end up in some stew some damn well.
Getting peppered.
Yeah, with some oxtail probably.
I just think you got to be thankful for your spouse's exes because that's where they learned everything from. So you just got to be thankful for all that crazy shit.
I used to not believe that was true, but now that I'm in the relationship that I'm in, I'm seeing a lot of that shit true because I don't want to do a lot of the shit that I did before, and I learned that shit from them, from being pissed off at me and all kind of shit like that.
I mean, that definitely makes sense because you're like, well, shit, if it didn't work in this relationship, then obviously that's the reason why this relationship it did. So let me not carry this over.
Yeah, let me not carry the one.
But that's the problem, and that's a part of what we're trying to talk about today, is people will still actually carry that same bullshit over.
Right.
To a whole new relationship and thinking that it's going to be perfect.
And she wants something totally different. So pretty much going into that, it was a clip out that Charlamagne the God did with Nikki Giovanni, and she speaks on like wanting to. I'd rather be lied to than for you to tell me the truth. As far as a man, as her man tell her the truth or whatever, she'd rather be lied to. And this is pretty much the clip.
If I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me. And you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. What Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course.
All
Of
right,
course
I
you'll lie to
accept
me.
that.
Because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat you
You
the way I
must.
treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell. Because I love you, I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me. Is that too much of the black woman to ask of the black man? For 10 years, so that we can get a child on
All
him?
right. So pretty much, I mean, for what she's saying, she'd rather be lied to than you come home and take all your frustrations out and be angry and all of this stuff with her. Like instead of you coming home being mad, fussing, fighting, beating her up, and all she want to do is love you, but you go to work and you lie to the white man or you lie at your job when you hate being there. When I feel like a lot of us is in that stage right now to where we don't want to work for who we working for.
That's facts. Oh, that's facts with me. Well, not to say I don't want to work.
Why did you have to make that awkward just now?
What happened?
He
All
was
right,
cool with the conversation before shooting. But the white man,
Whoa!
you want to lie and you want to laugh and you want to go along with what they're saying at work and you want to act like their authority is cool or whatever when you know it's not. But you come home and you give your wife bullshit. You beat her, you cursed at her, you talk to her any kind of way.
I don't beat my wife. I don't beat my wife.
Yeah, I don't beat my girl either.
Okay.
You out here beating women?
I don't even have a woman.
Okay.
Talking to your mic.
And keeps it low still.
She keeps it low still.
You know, white men just do what they want to do sometimes. but like,
You didn't ask me.
You beat your woman?
you beat
your
your
wife?
wife?
Sometimes. That's like
Oh, you
She
nasty.
was waiting on
that
that.
bitch get out of order.
You gotta lick your
I
hand
gotta
down.
smack it down on that whole nut.
You dirty bitch.
Yo, imagine BK little ass
Bitch,
beating her girl.
where the fuck is my motherfucking food?
Oh, you think shit's sweet?
you think I'm them other bitches, okay? I ain't your boyfriend.
Did you put
I'm the
sugar
bitch.
in my
You
spaghetti,
hear me?
motherfucker?
Ooh.
Today is the day you get your ass whooped,
Okay,
all right?
dragging that bitch through the house. I'm
Hey,
playing.
you remember
That-
you remember
domestic
the old,
violence is never okay.
Remember the old shit? Oh, bitch, you came in here after you ate some cereal and tried to kiss me, bitch. BK broke up with a nigga because the nigga ate cereal with milk.
He had milk on
She
his.
don't like milk.
He had
don't do
milk,
milk.
on his mouth,
and the dude
kissed
tried
me.
to kiss her.
It was a
That's
wrap. Had to go.
disgusting. That is straight up. I'm not getting back.
But,
Not the
but
milk.
like after that video, like we'll start right to left and come down. Like, how do you feel? What was your take on that video from what she said and all of that? You always find some shit that's in the air to swing at.
Should be attacking me.
10 folk
So starting with me, basically.
Yeah.
So,
coming from that video.
you
Little ass.
what I saw, and from my understanding, and then what I'm going to basically push out there is, I mean, I understand what she's saying. It's like, hey, tell me that lie just like you tell your employers. You know what I mean? So that therefore our relationship can then continue to move on, and there's no strain in our relationship. So in a sense, it's like, yeah, lie to me, but in a sense, make sure that the lie, in a sense, is not like something that's going to, hinder our relationship, stop it, or create any difficulty. That's how I'm going to look at it, in a sense.
All right, BK.
I think, first of all, we can't just play that clip off because that's a very classic clip with Nikki and James Baldwin. So that was a very, very really good interview. But I will say that I believe that she was speaking on not giving someone the worst of you. Like, she's getting the worst of you because she loves you. And you're trying to give someone the best of you who could give two shits about you.
It's like the love that you give to a child, because sometimes you got a lot of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so I think her definition of lying was not actually lying, not actually, telling her things that she want to hear, or like not giving her your true self, but don't give me the worst because I'm going to accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can't give anybody else the worst because you know they're not going to accept it. So why not give me better than what you give someone who doesn't give a fuck about you?
Let me add something. Like last night, my old lady, she went out. Now, keep it 100. When I go
ladies'
out,
night.
or say what?
Ladies' night.
She had her ladies' night. But the funny thing is, if I put something on, I go out feeling fresh or something like that. If it's something that she don't like that I'm wearing, she'd be like, no. That's ugly. Why are you wearing it? Straight up.
As she should.
Yeah, straight up. So, thank you.
Do that shit back to her.
I did the same thing to her.
As
last
you should.
night. So I was like, she was like, this it? I was like, you look good. I don't too much care for it. I said it's not ugly, but it's not doing anything for me. She was looking at me like,
you gotta be like, my dick don't get hard with that. With what you wearing that.
She was like, nigga, like, what do you mean? Like, she was feeling good. She was feeling good about what she had on, but I wasn't. Right. Not to say, I was like, hey, baby, don't get me wrong. I'm still hit you. You know what I'm saying? But
you still getting
you know what I'm saying?
Still getting this made and dropped off.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I'm just being, straight up with you. Now, keep in mind, what I would do back in the day, I'd be like, you got it, baby. Looks good on you. Give her that confidence. But I was like, you know what? We all keeping it real right here. You know what I'm saying? She always keep it real with me. And she feels some type of way about it. Why not give her that back?
Right.
Gave it to her back. She was like, nigga, no.
All right, so we're going to go to Dylan and get his take on the video because y'all two
I'm sorry.
taking over.
No, what you doing? You got to go first.
Okay, well, for me, what I took from it, I take full reverse psychology from it.
Okay.
Where she's saying you go out and you do all of this stuff and you act happy in front of them. If you not happy with me, tell me you're not happy with me. But if you here and I'm loving you, show me that same shit you show them. Laugh with me. Joke with me. Buy me flowers even though you hate doing it. Do all the stuff you hate doing for me, but do it with a smile because you go and do all the stuff for them with a smile. When they tell you to do something that you don't want to do, you laugh and you go do it. Or you say, yes, sir, no, sir, and you go do it. When I ask you to do something, if you don't like doing it, lie. Laugh, smile, and go do it. That's all I want you to do because that's going to make me happy. If that's what make me happy, make sure I'm happy like you make these white people happy or that you make your boss happy, whether he's white or black or whatever.
Employer,
whatever. White or black, whatever. You ain't about to tell me how to talk.
No color to employer.
But, that's pretty much what I take from it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that for them, do the same thing for me. Just like you lying for them, you hate the job, you might hate being in a relationship. I don't give a damn about that. Lie to me. Because I'm taking care of you. I'm making sure you eat. I'm making sure you got clean clothes. I'm cleaning up behind you. I'm making sure your well-being is perfectly fine. And if you hate doing this stuff, either leave or lie to me.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I got out of it.
Okay.
What about you, Dylan?
No, the first thing I got was the one thing I've learned a lesson the hard way is watch what you say and how you say it. Like leading with the term "lie to me," I think will take away a lot of what she was trying to say. You guys had already hit on
makes sense
the mindset behind it. For me, it was like give me the energy you give to your job. Right. You go to work and you're not happy about it, you still gonna get it done. You're going to push through it. You're going to yes sir, or let's get it done. You're gonna, you're not trying to bring in your baggage. They tell you leave your shit at home and don't bring that to work. Well, you shouldn't be bringing home all your bullshit from work back to home either.
Big facts.
So for me, it's more about matching energy. I think the issue that anybody would have that would disagree with that video would be the term liar. So whenever you say things, it's very important to say them in a certain way where you're not using either negative language or something that is derogatory. Because if you lie to your significant other, that's not going to grow anything. Nothing's going to grow out of lies.
Just like a little response to that part, though, if you pay attention to James Baldwin, when she said, lie to me, do what you do to them, do it for me. He was like, but I can't. I don't feel like that's right. I can't. And she said, yes, you can. Who the hell gives a damn about if you lying or not? I just want to be happy. Think about being in a situation where you doing all this other shit at work and you making them happy. And you hate this shit. But you come home and she just wants to be happy. And she's doing everything for you to make sure you're happy. The least you can do is lie and act like you like the shit.
I think she was saying like put in the work.
Right.
Like don't
But you
stop
come home
putting
and
in
drop
the work.
that all that shit
Right.
on her.
Don't give me all your negativity, all of your burden because I love you when you give them the best of you. Like put in the work, the same work that you do to say like, hey, I don't like doing this specific part of my job.
Come on now. No, that's a word there. That's a word.
But you know what I'm saying? I need to reach a goal. You know that, okay, maybe the relationship is tiring. Maybe I got on your nerves. But if you know that you want to be with me, put in the work. And don't expect me to carry all of your shit just because you're tired of it and you love me and you know I love you. Like,
I think the key is you don't have to voice every bit of frustration you have with your significant other. Every time they're annoyed, you ain't got to tell them how pissed off and annoyed you are. Like, all right,
exactly.
Your significant
So do
other's
you
imperfect.
feel like they should? So do you feel like your significant other should hold that stuff in and just
It's not about
move
it's not
like
holding
it's
it
not
in.
about
It's
holding
about
it in, 'cause
delivery.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry,
about the
Dylan.
same thing that people are going to come out and say, well, oh, you want me to hold it back? And like, no, I'm not asking you to hold it back. But every time I fall short as an imperfect man, every time I fall short, you're telling me how terrible I am. Like, that's not progressive. That's not.
Right.
Do you feel like men take that as just nagging, or is it she's voicing her opinion? She feels like she wants you to be able to embrace that. Is that just nagging?
but see,
And
that's a good point.
you're married, Mac. I'm in a relationship now, and you've been married before.
Right.
But is that do we as men see that as just nagging, or do we even try to take see it as this is how she feels?
I mean, it makes it a good point. Like, if everything I'm doing, you're telling me the negative in it, you're telling me the truth about how miserable you are about it, it's going to be nagging because of consistency. If you take and are thoughtful in like, all right, I don't like that you do these things, the way that these things make me feel, it's not nagging. But if it's consistent, if it's all the time, like every time my flaw shows up or every time I fall short of the expectation you've built in your head for me, that's going to be nagging if it's consistent to me. I don't know about you, man.
I feel like it has to be a balance. And what I mean by that is, so if you're going to tell me what like I'm not good at, or you feel like I need to improve on, then tell me what I'm good at. So one, I can continue to work on that, but I'm also knowing that, okay, these are the things I need to work on. So that's going to be the balance right there that I feel like that needs to be, put into place. Also, as an individual, you got to respect me as an individual. So for example, if you're nagging about something that I feel comfortable with and I don't see the reason into changing that like part of me, then why would you even continuously bring it up? Because that's me. Because there may be some things that I don't like about you, but I'm like, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. Like, how big of a deal
But
is it?
But okay, so you say something that is just a part of you. Mm-hmm. Of course, we know when dealing in this relationship realm, you are now taking on what somebody else does, what somebody else is. Mm-hmm. The raising of somebody that plays a lot into the relationship. Somebody was raised a certain way; they feel like this thing is okay. I've been raised that way. Mm-hmm. You might not have been raised on that, and it's a thing that bothers you, or whatever. Why can't that just be like a conversation piece to where this person could come to you, have a conversation about I don't like this bothers me or whatever, and it not go into well that's just me. It's like take it or leave it type situation. Because to me, when you said it just now, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like this is me, take it or leave it.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I said at the end basically was, if it's something that I feel that I need to change, and I'll just change it in a different
I guess
way.
that's the part. It was like, is it you that feel like it needs to change, or does she want it to change?
Because
so she can
I'm
feel
gonna be
a certain
honest. Especially, us men, we say that we do think logically, but sometimes we do let our feelings, dictate our actions. So as a man, you have to understand, like, wait a minute, let me listen to exactly what she's saying. Let me not take it as, oh, this bitch nagging. Lon, let me not do that. You have to
that
really.
This bitch, boy, that thing there.
Yeah, y'all.
Oh, that thing, it get real. It get real then.
But that's what you.
Nigga fed up.
That's what you
crazy.
have to really like look at yourself and try to really like develop a better you. Like, okay, so I got your feedback. How can this make me better? What you said. If I truly can't grasp the what you're saying and say like, okay, let me implement this into what I am right now to take this out that you don't like, and then let me see if this change is actually going to make me a better person. If I don't see that, then I'm not going to put it in.
Right.
Because it doesn't make sense to me, and that should be respected if I don't see that, and you have to understand that. I mean, that's what I look at it as. Like, why would I have to change if I don't really don't understand the reason for the change? and that goes for anybody. I'm not
So
trying
good-
to say
so
I'm
good
being
ish.
stubborn. I'm not saying I'm being stubborn because, to be honest, there's things that my wife has said, baby, you need to change. So I say, let me think about it. What she's saying, I need to change. Makes sense. Let me make that change happen because it made sense.
So how do you, with something like that, you say, well, if I don't see the value in that change, where does the conversation between you and your wife come from where you are sacrificing or understanding her needs for yourself?
Or it's
So,
a
like,
compromise.
It really
Where
just
it
comes.
is-
It comes to communication at the end of the day, and also understanding. So, for example, if she knows, or even as vice versa, if it's something that she doesn't feel comfortable with, and I'm asking her to change this certain thing, then either like that's just feels uncomfortable. She's going to let me know. She's going to communicate properly to where I understand this is the reason why she feels uncomfortable. Then I have to understand that, and it's up to me to say, okay, I respect that. So let me go ahead and, you know, take my feelings away, because now, like, the feelings that I had, since I have an understanding of it, now it's like, okay, well, it makes sense. Sometimes
And
it's
I
really
know-
just communication.
I
and
know
trying to
for me
understand.
and Jazz, everything can be a conversation because we pride our relationship now on being able to communicate. So if we can talk about it, we can probably get through it. If we feel like we can't talk about it, we done got to the point where it's like we just don't want to talk about it. In this short span of time, it still has been like we don't want to talk about this, and it's got to the point where it might have been like, I don't know if we want to keep going on with this, but it then ultimately it still came back to having a conversation. It was, but it's put on when it's put on the table. It's put on the table as take our emotions completely out of this right now. Let's talk about what we need to talk about so we can understand. This is how you feel about it. This is how I feel about it. This is my learning on it. This is my learning on it. And we put it out like that. So now I can understand what you're saying because I'm listening to you now. And I'm not listening on some, I'm emotional and I want to react to it. You can go ahead, BK.
I have nothing to say. I was just noticing that I was holding the mic in my mouth.
My
My mouth.
I did
My
not like
mouth.
It.
But,
Like that.
but BK, for you coming from a female side of it, have you ever been in a situation to where a dude like had something with him that you didn't like and he felt like it didn't need to change, but you felt a certain way about it? Did you feel like a certain way about trying to communicate with him, or you felt like you couldn't, or like have you ever been in that situation, or what would you do in that situation?
I think a lot, and it's funny because me and Dylan just talked about this. I think I'm I think I'm almost too understanding when it comes to men. Like I'm when I like someone, I'm really ready to adapt myself to their lifestyle.
Other than milk.
Other than
Yeah,
fucking
you
milk.
drink milk, that shit.
It's
Other-
a wrap.
Listen.
Don't ask for nothing.
Other than the
Over.
fucking milk. And so for me, and it's because I was raised in a family where women
They don't
are
drink milk.
very submissive.
They clearly don't drink milk. She's
you.
small. She's still built like a.
She look frail.
A 12-year-old boy. And that
oh.
means that we have a lot
Swing.
of gay pedophiles out here.
Swing.
Okay?
Wow.
Because my DMs are full.
Wow. Okay. I mean, hey.
So what are we talking about?
Whoa. Wait a minute. Well, hey, she let it be known.
Left,
Right, left. Yo. You niggas is disgusting. All right.
The niggas out here, it must be a trend on 12-year-old little boys because
Yes, you can.
the trend is fucking out here.
Y'all just
and niggas is in my
nasty.
shit. But no, so I was raised in a family where women were taught to be very submissive. So I generally have no problems with like men and their lifestyles. I at least want to understand.
Well, not really lifestyle, like
Like an issue.
Like an issue with them. Like they
Like,
handle
give
stuff
me an
because they
issue.
handle something that
Give me
way.
an issue.
When
I like to play the game all the time.
Okay.
And you don't like me playing the game all the time.
and that's just his thing,
That's
and he
not-
doesn't see it's a problem.
Yeah.
Because even with playing the game, he brought. Of course, shout out to the women that bought their men the PS5.
Okay.
Anyways,
Shout out to the broke bitches.
but not like we're playing the game. Some people can be like, I've seen it put out a case to where it's like, well, if I'm at home playing the game, at least I'm home. I ain't out doing such and such. I'm at home playing the game.
I mean, a good question is, does playing the game bother you?
No, this is where a lot of my issues. Told you it's next. This is where a lot of issues comes with my niggas. What I'm doing.
Like the plural.
Yeah,
She got a lineup
No,
of
no, no,
words.
Plural.
Wait,
Like,
Like
I'm
all
talking about-
of them.
You
She got a
niggas-
problem with
That's
all
not-
of them.
Man,
Like who the number one? It's like who top 5?
Chris Paul.
All right, Chris
This
Paul.
motherfucker's violent, by the way.
Y'all saw the abuse.
So this for me, when we have issues, it's usually with what I'm doing or something to where it's a change in my lifestyle. But when it comes to if a man, for me, if I like you and you play video games, I don't give a fuck. Like I will be okay. Teach me, Lord, or let me, babe. What's that?
Teach me, Lord.
Babe,
What's
who he shooting? Babe,
Who we
like,
shooting,
you know
Lord?
what I'm saying? Like I'm just not
Why
that.
you keep tucking the white toes under the cushion, man?
I'm
My
done.
feet are cold. But no, I mean, but usually when I do have issues, it's I don't want to sound like I'm just all perfect, but it's usually not me who can't understanding. They don't want to understand my perspective. So
Third perspective. Shout out
right.
to the
So
jacket.
it's like I'm always willing to compromise. I'm always willing to understand if I feel the man is coming from his like my best interest. He's coming from the heart and he doesn't have an alternative motive. So if I feel like any of those are like not on point, then I'm gonna shut down and it's like, okay, it's whatever. But I usually like I don't care if a man is busy. I don't care if he plays the video games. It doesn't
All right,
bother me.
so this kind of goes like directly into the next topic. There was a video, I don't know the woman's name, but she was sitting in the car. She had this dress on or whatever.
She was a
had
hood
red
bitch.
cup. She definitely was a hood chick. I'm not gonna say
We don't
because
know
she
that.
had long nails and a lace front, she
I mean,
was a hood chick.
We
but
know what a hood chick looks like. We know what a hood
she
chick looks
she
She was a nice lady.
whoa.
like. Did you see that?
It was subtle, but you know, whatever. Anyway, but she was pretty much speaking on women wanting to force monogamy. Once again, that topic has came up, but it came up a different way because the first time it came up between a married couple. This time it came up, which I'm assuming she is a single woman right now.
Yeah.
But she pretty much spoke on women forcing monogamy and women not even knowing what all of that entails. She doesn't know.
You don't know what you want.
She doesn't know, no, it wasn't, she doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know what all she has to deal with when she has a man that wants to be fully monogamous. So he's giving all of his energy. So pretty much, there was what's my man name? The two brothers, the dude that made She Ratchet.
Oh, Emmanuel Hudson.
Emmanuel Hudson, his brother. He put out this
Philip.
video. Yeah, Philip Hudson. He put out this video where he was like, I cracked the code. And he was like, you don't want all of me because you don't know what comes with all of me. When I had my hoes, you loved me then because you could get 10% of me and you got 100% 10% of the time. So you love that. That's what you love. But when I give all 100% to you, you don't know what to do with it. So what she was pretty much speaking on is women dealing with a man who's giving you full monogamy all the time. Full monogamy 100% of the time. A lot of women don't know how to deal with that because now you got to take on all of the shit about him.
Right.
You got to take on all that sex. You got to take on all of the emotions. You got to take on all the stuff you want to talk about. When he had multiple women, the time that he spent with you, you loved it. Because he didn't have to give you everything because he got multiple people to do it with. But when it's one man giving you all of this, you don't know what to do with it because you don't know how to be that type of woman because you never had to deal with a man 100% of the time.
And that's when they start, picking like, oh, well, okay, I like that, don't like that, don't like
That's
that.
when they start picking off.
Let's change that.
Right.
Hey, here it comes. Now you as a woman, you're coming into this relationship now that you got 100% of the man, and you're like, hold up, okay, so I like you, boo. That 10% was cute. Now I'm noticing another 90%. All right, so now we're gonna have to change some things. It's like, hold up.
And I feel like that's where a big piece of the what I've learned over time with the 80-20 rule. You want to find somebody who's your 80, not your 20. Because you find 20 might be you chilling. Well, your 20 might be you like to have fun. You like to drink. You like to go out, be around people. That's your 20%. But your 80 is you like to chill. You like to do little cool shit. You like to be around your person or whatever and be in a chill environment. His 80 is being the fuck out all the time. Drinking, joking, laughing, being loud, smoking, whatever.
You sound like you talk about me.
That might be, but I'm saying
You
that might
a
be
You
his 80.
describe me as a man.
That might be his 80. Now you fuck around and settle for a nigga that give you 20, and then you mad as shit because you don't get your other 80.
Yeah.
Or women will get 80 and be fucking upset because he don't got the other 20% looking for a 100% man. That shit don't be working either because you've been searching for something to be your 80 and it was only your 20.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem right there. I feel like
Is it just
goes,
me and Mac talking? I feel like it is.
I mean,
feel like we taking over a
felt
lot
like,
of shit. I'm
I
sorry.
felt like you said you was gonna get an introduction, and then you went into the goddamn synopsis.
Well, why the hell
so
you
I'm
ain't tell me
like,
that?
I mean, goddamn.
You guys
like,
gotta say something.
Goddamn.
I mean, I'll say something if y'all boys stop talking.
Right.
You got a point there.
hey,
Damn,
Dylan,
Mac.
what do you feel?
Right.
Yeah, fuck
Now
Mac.
we want my opinion. Now we want to start on the left and go to the
I
right.
don't feel like
Yes.
BK talked enough in this one either.
Well, then BK go. Ladies first.
Y'all two go.
Okay, so let me fucking tell you.
Put your mic
Okay.
down. Put your mic down, Mac. Mac, put your mic down.
Motherfucking running back. No, like I do feel like that woman made a lot of sense, and it was crazy because a man sent that to me, and we were having a conversation about monogamy and polygamy, and then he sent me that, and I felt like she was spot on. I think a lot of women are raised to want or desire a husband, but we're not raised to understand what marriage means, what commitment means, what you have to do to create a healthy longevity in your marriage or in your relationship. We just see us as a woman, no matter what I do, I'm only going to be half a person until I find a man. And once I find a man, then that's just going to be the end all be all. Not understanding, like, after the wedding, after the rice is thrown, after that freaky ass honeymoon, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
He
when,
put his finger in your ass.
Oh shit.
And this is why my mic need to be down.
First
All
of
right,
all, put the mic down.
Right, we're gonna
and put-
take a commercial
and
break.
Put the Henny tea down. But I think the Henny tea.
half and half.
Okay.
Half it.
But I think
You Honor Palmer.
Yeah.
right. I think she made great points in women not. I never had the desire to want to learn how to cook. Right. My mom always wanted me to know how to cook, not because she felt like you are going to be a young woman one day, and I can't cook. First of all, motherfuckers. But she not because I'm going to be a young woman one day and I'm going to be independent and I'm going to be I need to learn how to survive and do my own things. She wanted me to learn how to cook because it was taught that you can't get a man if you don't know how to cook. The best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Everything that I have learned in my life was how to get a man. Never saying like, and not to say because my mom's an amazing woman. She's
Can I say this real quick?
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to
No.
talk right now.
Hold on a
No.
second. No, I'm gonna give it to her back. I'm gonna give it to her back. Y'all taking it away.
Down,
away.
Mac.
Shut up. You're taking it away. That does not make a woman weak or stupid, by the way. 'Cause I
Okay.
feel like a lot of women believe you're weak if you do that, and that's dumb to think like
Cook?
that. To want to
I'm about to say, if you cook, that means
to be raised like that or to think like that, some women look at that as being your
But that's some women's ministry
okay. Well, that's all I had to say. So
to where they cook and they clean and they take care of the house and they take care of the kids.
Back to you, BK.
Thank you. So I think a lot of times, especially in this society, when women, we have gotten grounds to be able to come more into our own and to have businesses and to be ourselves outside of who we are married to, outside of our name. Then now men are like, okay, so what else are you bringing to the table? I don't want that 50s, 60s type of wife where, she's just cooking and cleaning and take care of the house. I want you to have your own thing. Like Gucci Man, his wife, he gave her $3 million and she quadruplified that shit.
2.3.
What the fuck ever? More than anybody in this room has. You get what I'm saying? So
you can call up my damn finances like that. We big balling over
I was
here.
following that
Right.
story because I was
Right.
waiting on motherfuckers to be like goals. I'm like, hold up. Y'all see what the fuck Keisha Cole had to go through?
Yeah.
To get there?
I mean, I think
Is that really your goal?
I
man?
think men-
She accepted him for who he was.
Exactly. Yeah, and we were
But
just
I
talking about
think
change and shit like that.
men nowadays don't want a trophy wife, but more of a ride or die. They want a partner. They're looking for a teammate. So what she was saying is, what are you bringing to the table other than this man? Because like back in the day, the man was the woman's world. Once she got married, it was to cater the man. It was to satisfy the man. The man is saying, hey, I don't want that. Like, what can we build? We want an empire. We want to be Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like, what else can you bring to the table? So that makes women reflect on themselves. What is it that you do that is outside of a man? What are you good at doing outside of trying to please a man? And so I think that is most important because there are, I say this all the time, there are thousands upon thousands of great women who are gorgeous, who can cook, who got that wop, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make you stand out. That's not going to keep a man. A man can find some good pussy with who can make tacos and all that shit any day of the week.
Hold up. Real quick, somebody posted earlier today. They was like, have you ever seen your grandma make tacos?
She made enchiladas.
My grandma ain't never make no Mexican food ever.
I had lima beans, rice. Or,
Yeah, I had heavy shit.
baked chicken or fried.
That shit crazy. My grandma ain't never had no Taco Tuesday. Bitches getting off easy now. Sorry.
She
to call
made
you bitches.
enchiladas.
Women getting off easy now when it comes to cooking.
Easier to like.
It's easier to make a taco.
I literally
It's
had
easier
tacos
to make
last night. I had
Alfredo. It's easier to make like all these
Alfredo's
simple ass
not
meals.
cooking.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Unless you making everything from scratch.
Yeah.
You can't make nothing with a little grease.
Damn,
I
it's a
can't fuck
Italian
with you.
son.
No, it ain't fucking Italian. It's just they food easy to make.
All right.
But
What were you
Dylan-
saying, Dylan?
Right.
Oh, BK still. You interrupted BK with grandma's tacos.
Yeah, she said tacos. That was,
But no, that's all I was saying. I think she was making
I
a
do
great
got a question
point
for you,
of like bringing more to the table than just cooking and cleaning.
I'm gonna
like
take a little bit from what you said.
Y'all keep fucking interrupting me.
Oh, you ain't even done. I'm sorry.
You know what?
we gonna do a
We're
part
not
two.
going to keep doing it.
Sorry.
Fucking
We definitely going
interrupting
into a part
Bethany.
two in this
No,
conversation.
no, that's all I have to say. Like just
'Cause we
being
got another topic.
just being able to give the man something. She made a great point of like you want this man to give you so much attention, and it's like watching a movie, and he's watching a movie of you trying to cater to him. Like what makes you interested in him? Is it because is he a businessman? Is it because he's like CP and he does so many things, and I'm just so fucking attracted to him? You know what I'm saying? Like why would he continue to watch the movie?
I mean, I was
love
listening.
you,
I
Chris
just let it go right
She
over.
fucking threw me, and I was with her too. I was so with her.
I was just letting it.
Damn, I was with her.
Just let it go.
Can
through.
we use some real world examples, Bethany?
37 seconds. So the question that I do have for Dylan is, okay, I feel like a lot of that stuff comes in a black household when it comes to women having to pick that area of we're going to be the cook, we're going to be the cleaner, all of that stuff. White women, a lot of times, I feel like they are already like house women most of the time anyway. Not saying like it's just, but it's the I mean,
You talking about like Lucy?
my thing is
watched that show.
Dylan's white, so I feel like I can ask these questions
White women are
that I
house
wouldn't be
women?
able to ask
I
for
don't
you.
understand.
What I'm saying is, in a lot of times in that culture, it's you see a lot of white housewives.
Okay.
You see that a lot. Even if you ride around Charlotte, at any time of the day, you see white women pushing the baby running. You see a lot of white women just working out.
Right.
They might have the Tahoe or whatever, going to get coffee, going to do yoga, doing shit like that. Now it could be different. It could be different in Dylan's world. I don't know. That's why I'm going to ask the question.
Dylan.
But what I'm saying is it seen the same way from the white male's perspective of my woman needs to just be at the house, or are you looking for a woman that does her own all of this type of shit? Are you trying to be the sole breadwinner in the house?
All right, so
Point at the camera
right now. You ready?
Zoom in, cameraman. If we had one, they would.
My woman needs
Here we go.
to be whoever the hell she is.
Look at that. Come on now.
So like
Somebody.
to go back
Slick puller.
to right, quick. No, to go back to like why I think you see a lot of white women that are like these homemakers or housewives, because I see it a lot in my industry, a lot in my career. You have like you can't talk about like the racial and like wealth gap of like white and black and then not acknowledge that like you have these white men that have these $250,000 $1 million jobs and their woman didn't have to work. Like they found they boyfriend in college or whatever. Mom and daddy was rich, so like mama didn't have to work. So naturally she brought up that she's gonna find a man that's gonna be successful. More than likely, you birds of a feather flock together, and it ain't got nothing to do with skin color.
Facts.
If you're a white man and you making millions, you hanging out with other white men that make millions.
Right.
So your daughter's gonna marry his son, and I think you just see that so much more often. And then there's a reason why, like the number one growing entrepreneur in the country is black women. Like the most disenfranchised person in America is a black woman.
The most disrespected woman in America is. I'm sorry.
I didn't have my Malcolm glasses
Malcolm
on today, so I
X
couldn't
glasses
really rock with it.
on.
Sir,
So-
telling the truth here.
And it is. So like,
There she go.
so I think
Women's rights.
it is. So it depends
Women's
on like
suffrage.
Hold on a second.
I'm sorry.
culture is gonna be a part of it. But it really just comes down to personal preference at the end of the day. Like me, I don't have to have, like, my ego is not so small that I need my woman to be smaller.
Right.
Like, I'm not built that way personally.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some people, they can't deal with that. Like, I'm a big proponent of, like, people don't say things if there's no reason to say them. Like, we talk about Black Lives Matter, and people want to, like, degrade it. But
Facts.
the bottom line is, why are millions of people screaming something if it's not factually happening to them?
Everybody ain't lying.
So, like, you take a
Everybody ain't lying.
You take women saying men are intimidated by a successful woman. Women wouldn't be saying that if there was not validity to it.
Right.
It was something that happened to them that made them feel that way.
Right. You have certain men that the way their ego is so fragile and soft, like, they can't deal with a woman being something more than
You're being a
cook.
bitch.
Yeah. You know, I had and this may segue a little off. You called that was a strong bitch. But it may segue off. But I feel like it's a good.
To men.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Sound like an Old Spice commercial. But I had a conversation with two older gentlemen. One was like 65. One was like 76.
You ain't been dating them, was you?
No. What the fuck? What do you?
You said you
What
like
am I-
old
if
men.
Okay,
BK
but
like
not
what
a
she like, let her
granddaddy.
like
You did say
it.
you like older
I
men that time.
said I like the
You
popular
said 50,
people.
You
No,
said
man.
55.
55?
So
She said I said her ring.
Everybody calm down.
I'm sorry to fuck this
All
old
right.
meeting up.
I have dated men in their 40s.
When you were in your what?
In my
13.
20s.
Early 20s?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the gap. She's
professional,
about
guys.
30 now, so they up in the 60s.
Actually, my birthday is next Sunday. Shout out to the Sagittarius. I'm the first day of Sagittarius.
I mean, but to say
back
that-
to my point.
Oh,
I hate
shit.
Sagittarius. You hate Sagittarius. But so my point is, I had a conversation with them, and we were speaking about women nowadays, and the conversation escalated to women not having the same type of sexual feelings or like drive like men. Like the energy doesn't match. And so the thing was about it, they were saying that women shouldn't dress provocatively because it tempts men and you're like getting them off course when you do that. And for me, it was very offensive. One, because that's a grown-ass man and he should have self-control. If he knows how to control himself in any other sector, I don't understand why he can't control himself if my titties, if I have on a low-cut shirt, I don't have titties, but if my ass is popping, because I do got a little booty. But
Somebody did hit me up and was like, she thicker than I thought she was. I was like, hey, hey, I mean.
She wear real thick blue jeans.
I was like, she got a small frame. That's all.
but the question,
I
I mean,
can say because my ass is popping.
but it was weird to me that they thought, because a lot of the arguments were that women don't have this, aren't as sexual as men. And I thought that was crazy, one, because I knew for a fact that I had more bodies than both of these men combined. And two, the how society has gone for women, we have always been shunned away from being sexually free. Like, we've always been told not to have sex. If you do have sex and it's not your husband, you lose your virtue. You're damaged goods.
You're filthy.
You're filthy. And then
You're a whore.
you're only supposed to
Look at
give
you.
it to your husband.
look at
And
you.
you're
That's-
supposed.
that
Not
shit is
only are you only supposed to have sex with your husband, but you should have sex with your husband when he wants to. So that means if you're
Every
in the mood or not. So like
This
if-
my
if-
pussy. I own it.
Yeah.
You
So
should-
it's
yeah,
like
that's crazy.
if we're
That's what I tell
always
my wife,
taught to be afraid, quote unquote, of sex. What the fuck?
Yeah, he said that. I was
about
gonna
to say
pretend like
nobody
I ain't
else
heard
heard
it.
We ain't going.
Like
It's
you're not gonna
4:45.
realize-
It's 45 minutes, and this nigga decided to say this at the end. We got to do this part two, bro.
We almost made it.
But-
Man, I
Gotta do
pay
this
for that,
part
all
two.
right?
It was funny how
He knocked it over again.
right. It's funny how, especially
We gotta
men,
wrap up and do this
especially in that society, like older
Hype 'em up. Get the
generations.
angles.
Okay, give me my motherfucking angles.
Give her
but,
angles and her
The
roots.
problem is everybody on this podcast don't know how to wrap it up.
Okay,
the
right.
problem.
I can't because everybody keeps talking. Get this motherfucking shit.
All right, listen. We gonna do a part 2
Right,
to this though.
because
We gonna
fuck
do
this. I
we gonna
can't
do a
even
part
get
2
through
to this
the
because it
fuck
is a
I'm
lot to
saying.
talk about.
Right.
We got a whole nother topic to talk about. But right now, we're gonna let y'all go ahead and listen to this one and get your thoughts and all of that shit. Then when we drop that second one, y'all can come back in with it. But for right now, this is
Third perspective.
the third perspective. I am comedian All Scott, the man with the voice.
And I mean, you guys know me as Mac Reed.
I am BK, your man's best friend.
Well, talk your shit then, Queen.
Okay,
And
okay.
the special guest today,
Confidence. And I'm back, baby. Dylan.
He's
There you
drunk.
go.
Dylan's
Dylan
drunk.
Paradise, a.k.a. James.
What?
Hey, we out of here, man.